Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing my what solds for last week. First I'll start with Monday through Thursday, which was October 11th through the 14th, and then I will do another video for the weekend, which was October 15th through the 17th. It was a good week, and then it has been followed by a pathetic week. It is just what it is. I think a lot of people are feeling it. You know, you have your highs and your lows, your ebbs and your flows. So it's just part of the game. All I can say is encourage you to keep listing, keep doing, you know, sales and promoted listings and whatever else you need to do to help yourself in the algorithm. So before I even start, I thought the yard sale season was coming to an end, and we have just hit excellent sales all week. I went to a consignment sale, and then we've been to lots of estate sales, some yard sales, but it's just been amazing. A church sale, it's just been amazing. So I need to get some haul videos done and out here real soon. All right, this first thing that sold, again, my husband picked this up at an estate sale and showed up at the checkout with it. It's a vintage Hickory Farms cheese slicer. It kind of looked like that butcher block type thing. It was very little. It wasn't big at all. I think we paid $1 for it, and I ended up selling it pretty quickly for $9.31. These, I don't even remember how much we paid for them, but I saw a Facebook ad, and it was a warehouse clearance type thing. And we decided to go. We met the guy there, and they had bought out a golf company. There were lots of golf shoes, but there were other kinds of shoes, and there was a lot of vintage stuff. I think they were buying out estates, but a lot of it was this golf stuff. And we bought these box of, it's armor combination conduit hanger clamp. This was a box of 50, and we bought 2 boxes of them. I want to say we paid $5 or $10 for them, but I do not remember. We bought quite a few things there, and then when I got home, I had bought some vintage shoes and realized all of them were dry rotted and ended up having to throw them away. So just, if you're going to go to these literally warehouse places that probably has not been climate controlled, really pay attention to the quality of the products you're buying. But these were new in the box, but I opened them just to make sure. I'm always leery about that. I opened them, but I had one person who ended up making an offer for both boxes, and I did sell them for $56 for the 2 boxes. These were some Christmas stockings that I picked up. I pick them up all year long. I sell them all year long. They really felt like wool, and that's what I had stated in my listing. But I ended up, this was a surprise, I ended up selling them for best offer of $36. Normally I sell stockings for like $8, $10, $12, especially the older ones. Now the kits, that's a whole different story. This was the cutest plush, but it didn't have a tag, so I didn't know who the manufacturer was. But I went ahead and listed it, and it did finally sell for best offer of $10. Just very cute. Brass. I tell you guys, we're still selling it. I still have a box of unlisted that I need to get to. But I did end up selling this brass candle holder with a 5-inch base for $10 best offer. These are from my online auction that I picked up. These were by Commonwealth. They were called Millennials. They were from the Millennium 2000. I decided to put the 2 together, and I ended up selling them for best offer of $14. They were little, this big. They were clip-ons for like backpacks. This was a Ripley's Aquarium Jellyfish plush. I'm pretty sure I paid $1 at a yard sale for it, and I ended up selling it for a best offer of $11.75. We have a Ripley's Aquarium in our area, so I tend to find these quite often. This is from my online estate sale also. I bought a whole box of McDonald's buckets for Halloween, paid $2 or $3 for the whole box. I only have a few left, but I did sell this one for $15.25. This was Fisher-Price Octonauts, and this is the Octopod. It had all of its parts, including this top part up here that makes sounds. You can sometimes sell just that for like $15 to $20, but I decided to go ahead and keep it all together. I did not have any figures for it. I want to say I paid $8 at a consignment sale for it, and I ended up taking a best offer of $52 for it. This is a Commonwealth Cow Plush from 1999. It still had its little paper tag here, and I ended up selling it for the $21.21. Again, I tell you guys, animals that aren't just rabbits and bears and colorful plush tend to do much better than some of the others. These, I found a bunch of these, and I initially went ahead and listed some of them, but the rest of these had more condition issues. I found the bag. I'm trying to get a whole bunch of stuff over in my booth to try to clear out some of my profit piles, just to kind of make room, get it organized. I tend to do that when the winter months start coming. And I went ahead and put these three together. They had some discoloration. Two of them were Play School. The other one wasn't marked. Listed them for $29.95, and I'm pretty sure I sold them within 2 hours. So I've still got another bag, probably 12 or more of them still. But again, the plastic has started deteriorating, and they're kind of sticky. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to try to soak them in something to see if I can get some of the stickiness off. I don't know. I have so much stuff to get listed. These are some Anne Klein shoes that I picked up. My sister and I went to a yard sale, and the lady was like, all the shoes are $1, and these still had their box. So I went ahead and picked them up, and I ended up selling them for the $16.96. This is an Okie Dokie blanket I've picked up somewhere along the way. I normally pay $2 or $3 for them, and I ended up selling the blanket for the $16.96. Okie Dokie, especially if you find plush made by Okie Dokie, definitely check the comps, because a lot of them can be really good bolos. These, I featured these in a haul recently. I actually bought these for myself, and I even stated in the haul, if they're worth anything, I might not keep it because I don't need them. They were just really nice condition. I paid $5 for them, and I ended up taking a best offer of $35 for them. These are Baby Alive Little Squad dolls. They're smaller than the normal. I think the other ones are like 13 inches, somewhere in there. These are just little, I want to say these were like twins. They're only 9.5 inches, and I ended up selling them for the $12.71. These, I went to an estate sale, and the guy just talked me into buying these, and I didn't do a whole lot of research, but what he was telling me and what the comps were showing me, it seemed to be a good buy. Well, I don't think it was a good buy. I ended up paying $5 each, so I paid $35 for them. I think they had condition issues, so I just basically stated that I wasn't quite sure about the condition, that I was leaving all the cleaning and restoration to the buyer. Listed it, and I did take a best offer of $50 for them. I'm not going to do things that like this again. I don't know enough about them. This is from that GeoTrax lot my husband picked up at a church for me. I want to say he paid $45 for like 2 huge totes of them. And I've sold most of the remotes. I think I've still got the tracks and some of the other lots. But I ended up selling just this bridge set for the $12.71. This is a Dachshund dog plush, 14 inches long. The brand was Idea Nuova. I've never heard of it, but I tend to buy stuff like this because dog breeds do sell in plush, and I ended up selling it for the $15 best offer. These are some Pier 1 plates. I picked up several dish sets at a local yard sale. It was like only like plates. It wasn't, and I think another set was Citrus Grove, and then there was these iron Pier 1s, and I divided the plates up by color and listed them individually, and somebody went ahead and made me an offer of $8 for the 4 plates in this color, and we went ahead and accepted it, and my wonderful husband packed them up and sent them on their way. These, I see these all the time at the consignment sales that I go to. It's a brand called Kidgets. To be honest, I think they're from like Dollar Store or Dollar General or one of them, Dollar Tree. But they're vintage. I don't know if you can find them there now. But they always are just, I've seen the white ones, yellow, blue, green. And they've got a cute little, this little silky area on here. A lot of times they say, bless this baby. I pick them up usually for $1 or $2 only. Sometimes I even buy them without, they're not new, without the packaging. But I ended up selling this one for $19.51. I showed this recently in a haul. This is the Tiger for Real bottle that goes to the chimp. I picked it up. I think I paid either a quarter or 50 cents for a whole bunch of stuff each. And I like to sell these. I do them as replacements. I buy all of the little bottles for all of the different types for real animals. And sometimes I do little small lots. But this particular one I've sold several times, and I ended up taking a best offer of $8. This is by the Beverly Hills Teddy Bear Company. It is actually labeled as the world's softest plush, and believe me, it was very, very soft. And I ended up selling it for the $12.71. These are Oneida silverware sets that I picked up. I paid $20 for a whole box of them. And then, like many of the other sets that I've done, I ended up putting them in lots of 4. And I have already sold both sets of these. This last set I ended up selling for best offer of $20. I picked this up at a yard sale for $1. This is the Settlers of Catan. It's a board game. I've not played it. We have it, but my husband likes to play these types of games. Sometimes I play, sometimes I don't. But I ended up selling this for the $21.21. I'm a card game kind of person. My sisters and I, we all like to get together and play cards. This is a Hasbro Go-Go My Walking Pup. It's from 1989. I bought this, I don't remember where or for how much. Probably just a couple of dollars, if not less. And when I tested it, it didn't work. So as you can see in there, I put it in the title that it's non-working. I put it in the condition that it's non-working. But when I did the comps on this, a lot of them said non-working. And they were still selling for this much. And I did end up selling it for the $16.96. And I've already received positive feedback. This is a Lovey by Blankets and Beyond. Most of them are just my bread and butter. They're going to sell in the $8 to $12, and this one did sell for $11.01. This, I went to an estate sale at the beginning of the summer, and they just had a whole tote. They were selling a whole lot of G.I. Joe stuff and other action figures, but then they just had this whole tote of just parts, little tiny parts. I went ahead and bought it. I don't remember how much it was, $10 or $20 probably, but it was one of those that are like this big and this tall. And I took a board and I divided it up into 12, numbered each square, and there's a group on Facebook called Action Figure ID, something like that, very similar. And I just started putting one item in each of those blocks, send it to the group, and within minutes, they were already responding, telling me all the different G.I. Joes, Star Wars, Rimco. It was just tons of action figures. And as they identified them, I took a little baggie and I wrote on there what they said it was, and I just started putting stuff in baggies. This one was one of the things. They said it was a G.I. Joe Budo replacement weapons. I listed a whole bunch in the beginning of the summer, but the other day, again, cleaning, trying to get stuff to send to my booth, I found a Walmart bag, basically packed with the little baggies that I hadn't gotten to yet. So I picked out, I want to say 6 or 10 of them, and went ahead and got them listed. So this one sold these 2 little teeny tiny weapons for G.I. Joe. I'm trying to look at my cheat sheet right here. Sold for the best offer of $11. Long story. But if you ever find, and I don't only do it for action figures, if there's any kind of toy and I can't figure it out, I will usually send a picture there, and the members of that group are amazing. So if you're a seller, go ahead and join that group. You'll learn so much, and they are so helpful. This is a Russ Yapper dog. It's 5 inches, kind of that chamois type fabric on it, but I ended up selling it for the $12.71. This is part of the small appliances that we have been just taking and separating and selling the small parts. This was the gasket seal for a pressure cooker by Wherever. I think on this one, yeah, I took a picture of the bottom of the pan and included it so that whoever was going to buy this gasket knew what it went to. I think it was damaged, the pan, not the gasket. And I ended up selling the gasket for $12.71. These are from my online auction sale. I bought a bunch of trolls. I've been going through them. I've listed maybe half of them, maybe even not that many, but all 4 of these had issues. Stains on the outfit, even after I tried to clean them, discolored faces. So I just decided I'm gonna put these 4 together and list them for $15. Of course, it went on sale. This was my 15% off sale weekend. Never gonna do that again, never. Just too many lowball offers. But I ended up getting a best offer of, no, on the sale, the $12.71. I sold it for that amount. And so, you know, hopefully somebody can try to restore them even better. Maybe they don't mind with all the stains, but they're gone, and it adds to my total. This I bought at a yard sale. I paid $10 for it, and unfortunately they had written Sharpie marker on the bottom, and I could not get it all off. But I did just disclose in the listing that there's faint writing on the bottom. I did test it. It worked. Again, I paid $10, and I ended up selling it for the $42.46. These are 2 Minnie and Mickey Mouse snow globe ornaments that I picked up. I want to say I paid $1 each, and I ended up selling them for best offer of $15.75. This is from my online estate sale that I've talked about numerous times. I'm still going through that stuff, still selling it like crazy. But this is a Slim Jim counter display. And it's kind of looked like a huge oversized mug. But I did end up selling it for the $11.01. Now there are other, in fact, if I remember, which I'll get it from the video, there was another Slim Jim something or other that I remember at some point doing comps on. And I'll stick it over here. It was good. This also was from that online estate sale. This is Homer Depot plush doll from Home Depot. And I ended up selling him also for best offer of $10. This is Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. He was from 1994 Mattel. He was supposed to have like a squeaky thing inside, which makes me think he might have been a pet toy. But the sound was no longer working. I disclosed it, and I ended up selling Piglet for the $8.46. This is Little Tykes Toddle Tots. Love that brand. Love to find, in fact, I found some more stuff this weekend that I'm going to be doing a haul on. But this was the farm truck with the animals and two of the tots. There was some wear to the tires because somebody had played with it outside on the concrete. But I ended up selling it for the $33.96. I thought I got it at an estate sale. No, a consignment sale. Probably for like $4 or $5. This too's from my online estate sale. This is the pharmaceutical promotional plush for Claritin. And I ended up selling it for best offer of $10.25. This is plush of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I picked them up. None of them sell for a whole lot, but again, they're in my bread and butter range, $8 to $12, and I did end up selling this Rudolph for $9.31. And then this was pretty much, I think, my big sale for the earlier part of the week. I've talked about these in a haul. These are the Dakin Cuddles bears. They were from 1979. I picked up 2 of these somewhere along the way at the same yard sale though. Paid probably $1 for them, and I ended up selling these, the 2 of them, to one buyer. I think it actually went GSP, and she paid $84.92 for the 2 bears. Now some of my Facebook sales. Facebook was on fire last week, and then like everything else, it's been pathetic this week. I actually started listing on Hickory again, and I made 1 sale on there, but I haven't put as much effort into getting stuff cross-listed over there as I should. I'm going to get back to it. But here's a bunch of the Facebook orders that I had. This is Thomas the Train Rosie. I've actually sold her previously, and I don't remember, the buyer returned her. Either they changed their mind or they got duplicates or something like that. But I did, again, end up selling this on Facebook for $8. This is some of the dollhouse stuff that I bought earlier in the summer. I paid $25 for a house with a bunch of accessories. This week I went to a consignment sale and I bought 2 more dollhouses with accessories. So I'm excited to get my dollhouse stuff replenished. But I ended up selling this nursery set for $26. This is a little brownie plush. It was, I want to say these were Commonwealth, and they were put out for the Girl Scouts. And this is the owl, and I sold it for $8. These are all Facebook orders. I picked these up at an estate sale. I think I bought 4 cups, maybe for $5. And I ended up selling this 1 cup for $8. This is Blaze and the Monster Machine, Zeg the dinosaur vehicle. This is one of the small die-cast vehicles, and I sold him for $9 on Facebook. These were from my online estate sale purchase. This was the complete set of Beauty and the Beast from Pizza Hut, and they had some condition issues, but I ended up selling the whole set for $11 on Facebook. This is Felix the Cat. He was in a bulk lot that I bought a couple of months ago, and so I don't even know, but I would think for as little as I paid, I probably only paid, I've got a nickel maybe in him, and I sold him for $8. This is a Fisher Price Little People. I sold a bunch of Little People on Facebook, but I'm only showing you some of the highlights. This is just the ballroom set without the figures. I sold it for $12. This is a horse that I sold for $6. This was a plush that I picked up somewhere. I'm thinking I paid 50 cents for it. I only bought it because it said Bath and Body Works on it. And I see them on occasion, not very much. Again, they're in my bread and butter thing. But I just thought it was a very unique looking cat. And I just love purple. So I sold it for $10. And then this is my big sell for Facebook this past week. Again, these were the trolls from my online estate sale that I purchased. And I just decided to put a lot of the little figures. I think most of these are like 3 and 4 inches, maybe less. And I just put all of them together in one lot, and I sold them on Facebook for $79. I had lots of people trying to buy just 1 or 2. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I hope everybody's sales have been good this past week. I truly think it's going to pick up here soon. People are going to start focusing in on buying stuff for Christmas. And today has actually been better than some of the previous days this week. So, you know, it's coming into the weekend. And I tend to do better on the weekends some days. Some weekends not, but sometimes. So, thanks again. I had a whole lot of positive comments about the video I put out about the vintage brands. I'm still going to try to put together some other ones like that. I will try to keep the time to a decent amount, but I tend to like to talk a lot about the things that I love, which of course are stuffed animals and some of the toys that are vintage.